All right, guys, this is going to be a quick installation guide for the Lockly Pro. As you can see it here, we're going to go through all the steps, disassembling the original door handle and everything, commercial door, and installing this step by step pretty much. I think there's a shortage of good installation guides for this, so I went ahead and posted it up. So if this is something you guys like, you want to see a part 2, I can show configuration, all that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking to the YouTube bots and it's worth my time. But if this video gets 100 likes, just 100 people that are interested, I'll go ahead and make a part 2. So here we go with the installation, guys. All right, first thing we're going to do, remove the old handle. As you can see, there are number 3 Phillips screws, 2, one at the top, one at the bottom. There'll be, of course, on this side, one there, and the other one there. And then the handle will just drop out once you remove those screws. There's a Allen key right there to release that, and a number 3 on that side. And then we can get to the cam. So it's 2 Phillips screws to get it out, and to actually release that, first the cylinder, there's a Phillips, actually a flat head, 2 of them for both sides. You release that, and then you could unscrew it. So you can see how the mechanism works when you lock and unlock the door. As you can see what it's doing. 2 Phillips number 2s for the little display. Pull it off. Just moves up and down, as you can see. 2 number 2s to remove the main lock assembly, and there will be this long pin in there for the display. Just pull it straight out. Looks like our existing hole here lines up exactly perfectly with the current hole that we have. Even these 2 screw holes match up, so we don't have to do anything here. And this hole lines up as well. We might have to bore it out a little bit. We'll see once we try to mount it in, but we're going to go ahead and knock out these little holes here and mark them so that we can drill our holes through. So we just went and filled everything in with a marker, as you can see there. Pull it out. So now we know where we need to drill. I even went ahead and outlined that a little bit in case I do need to bore it out. Keeping in mind, guys, if you got to drill this hole, you need to pay attention to your position so that you actually miss that lip. So if you need to make the offset a little bit further in, especially if you don't have an existing hole here, but this just fit just perfectly. We're able to actually get right past the lip, so everything is fine here. But just be pendiente, check that out. Next step, I'm installing the paddle. So this is pretty much the directions. These are the dimensions I took to drill the holes, and here are the holes I drilled. One right there and the other right there, according to the dimension. Mounting studs, you take them out of the paddle. It's already comes screwed in, and then now you're gonna insert it from the inside of here, just like I did here, and use this locking nut. There we got the 2 studs installed, as you can see there. So you can see it on the other side. Now we want to install our cam, being mindful of the orientation. See the 2 indents? They're at the top, so you want to make sure you put your cam in that same way so that it fits in and will fit into the indents there. Now you want to screw these in here, the 2 screws, as you can see, the one at the top, and you got to be mindful, the bottom, this is the top and the bottom, you see that? So you got to be mindful about that. All right, guys, it's important to note this works with a dead latch. So as you can see, it inserts and comes out by itself once you push it in, and you need to have the correct orientation left to right. So this needs to be smooth, so as the door closes on its own, it forces and pushes closed in against the other door, right? So, and keep in mind that the cam needs to be at the top, right, of the latch, right, so the side you're buying. Now you insert the cam into there, and you can see on the other side how it fits into the slot, basically right there. And then you need to loosen the set screw so that you can get it in, lock it into place. And everything correct, your door should look like this, right? So at this point, we're going to actually fit the Lockly in. So you want to fish your cable through this middle center hole and guide it to come out the other side. Keep in mind the orientation of this always at the top, the little point. and you want to have your cam should look like this. Should be fished through like that, and then just kind of guide it in. Everything should just pretty much line up as long as you took your dimensions properly. You want to go ahead and put your batteries in. It'll make it easier. Before you do that, there's one set screw right there in the middle, and you pull this off and you put in the 4 AA batteries. Forgot to mention that. All right, once you have it inserted, it should look like this. The cable on the other side, and it should be completely flush. You might have to give it a couple of love taps. I did at the top and bottom to get it to get in flush, and it should be working at this point. As you can see, the key does not, the handle doesn't do anything. You turn the key to activate it, and at this point you can engage and disengage the lock to open the door. So you should be at this point. Next step, we're going to go ahead and secure it and put it in the paddle. Note guys, on this paddle, the template, the dimensions that came with this was not accurate for the mounting. So what you want to do to make sure you get the correct holes to line this up, go ahead and mount up the lock, put the base on of the paddle, and then once you have it completely, everything in place, including with the cam, you want to go ahead and get you a pin or something while it's in place and mark where you actually need to drill, because what came with the instructions was not accurate. Now we can test it. You put these grooves into there and you can just test it and make sure it is working. So as you can see, I gotta hold it with one hand. As you can see, it does work. Don't forget to tighten your cams, both of them. Next, you want to connect up the antenna, Bluetooth antenna. You just plug it in, and I just stuffed it back in the hole. There's an adhesive at the back of this. You peel it and you'll stick it in place. And I'm going to install the paddle now. So we're going to put the paddle into place, and here is the retainer. I'll show you here. Now you use the retainer, and you're going to stick the retainer in through the paddle. It's going to go all the way, and then here's the locking nut. So this sits inside of it like that, and you just basically lock it. At the bottom is an Allen key slot, so once it's in there, you then use the key to lock it in place, and that's it. All right, this installation is pretty much done. As you can see, the paddle opens and closes. The handle with the key on works. Key off, it doesn't work. Of course, left to program the electrical part. That'll probably be another video. But the installation is done. Only thing is I do have to modify where the lock is actually going to enter in the door here. So that's the last step for me here. And here's the finished product, guys. You got the little cover on there, flap. It sticks on with an adhesive. And as you can see, there's the codes. It's a little dim right here. The light is on it. You got the fingerprint reader. And we've got it installed in the bypass mode. It's called guest mode, I believe, in the daytime, so you can open it in business hours. It will, after you set your business hours, let's say 8 p.m., this will no longer function, so you will need access. And you can have an opening time, like let's say 9 a.m. So the first employee or owner would have to, of course, activate this first. At that point, this will become in the guest mode where anyone can open and close the door until closing hours. So important note, guys. Overall, pretty good device. As you can see, the install went pretty good. So thumbs up button, like and subscribe. See you on the next one, guys. If you didn't know this, now you know. And knowing is half the battle, boys.